Okay, I'm just sitting here at the Florida-Alabama border, finishing my coffee and getting ready to get going here. The helicopters did quiet down once it got dark, and the gunshots, though, you can hear them off in the distance. They're kind of back. I don't know what was going on yesterday. Like I said, at one point I heard sirens and like packs of dogs running around, and then helicopters were just buzzing all day long. So I don't know if they were looking for somebody out here or what. Also, I don't know what it was, but there was something rather large wandering around huffing at me last night. It was off in the bushes, so I couldn't see. I don't know, maybe deer, bear, Sasquatch. So this next section is known as the Alabama Roadwalk. It's basically just a route that goes through rural Alabama and takes me up to the Pinhoti Trail, which is where things get, more trail-ish proper. Though apparently the Pinhoti has roadwalks also. Can't get away from them, apparently. This is the section that I am probably the most nervous about of any of them, just because it's, not a trail. It's just walking along rural areas, and if you've been following along the videos so far, you've seen some of the challenges of doing that. In order to camp along the way, there are the occasional properties where people will let you stay, apparently, and, the old standby of trying to contact churches and seeing if they'll let you tent. In addition, the Pinhoti Outdoor Center has been really nice coordinating help for people on that section. I know when the tornadoes hit in Alabama yesterday or a couple of days ago, I guess they ended up pulling 9 people off of the route and finding them a place to stay in the church, which was nice. I am actually ahead of schedule, and that's a slight bit of a problem just because my girlfriend is coming out to spend her spring break hiking with me, and we decided a while back that Birmingham made the most sense for her to meet me. That way we can meet, have a hotel for a night, and then continue on, and she'll end up getting a ride off the trail somewhere around the start of the Pinhoti and fly back to work till summer comes about, and then she'll join me on the AT for those 3 months. The only problem is Birmingham is only 125 miles away, and I've got 7 days. I've been moving pretty consistently in the low 20s every day. So I don't know. I'm just going to go along at my normal pace for a couple of days. I may have to take a 0 or 2 in order for her to catch up, which would be annoying, but it is what it is. This is why I hate having commitments or plans, because the moment you make them, that's when the universe decides, hey, I can screw you up pretty good. Last year when I was on the PCT, when I was about 2 weeks out, and it looked like easy, I'm going consistently, Jen and I made plans for her to meet me at the end. Just had to make 20 miles a day, no problem. And that's when I started having major issues. Weather came in, everything went wrong, and we ended up having to reschedule her flight, cancel an Airbnb. It was a whole mess. Hence why it is so much nicer to just be solo, have no commitments to anybody, and just go as you go. So I did find mention of yellow blazes through this section. They're apparently not as reliable as, the Florida Trail or the AT. There was an organization dedicated to developing the Alabama section, but when I looked at their website, I don't think they're active. And I tried to email the address there and never got a response. So if you're looking for any information on this section, really the Pinhoti Center seems like the people to contact. They've been super helpful. So there have been options for camping out here, but obviously it's used by hunters. So, oh yeah, that smells just awesome. So I think I've seen about 20 deer so far, but they've been in 40 or 50 pieces. This is nice enough back here, just kind of monotonous, no change. Yeah, it has had more hills than I'm used to in Florida. I keep joking about how I think I've done more gain today than all of Florida, but yeah, it's all really gradual though, which is good walking. At least so far there's been plenty in the way of water. I'm still using what I had from last night since I filled up my CNOC, but so far so good. So that guy's out here hunting snakes. Stopped and gave me a cold beer, which was very well appreciated. First trail magic of Alabama. Oh, look at that. Not all the road. Well, some things never change. Okay, I filled up with water at that last bridge before the road. Now, honestly, I'm just looking for the first spot to camp. It's after 6, so I don't have that much daylight left. And I'm a bit concerned that if I push this too far, there is a church ahead in another 3 or 4 miles, which means it's probably going to be more private property, and I just want someplace to set up my tent tonight. Okay, found a quiet place off trail. Tomorrow I should make it into Andalusia, however you pronounce it, and may even have a motel. We'll see. Surprisingly chilly night out here. I actually had to warm the canister up in my sleeping bag before cooking, well, before making coffee. At least so far, the Alabama Roadwalk has been rural roads or trails and pretty monotonous. Long stretches of just walking forward, kind of like South Florida, except you've got, trees and forests on every side instead of just canal. I have run into a handful of people who stopped and just asked if I was doing okay. I am looking forward to getting into hopefully a little more varied terrain up ahead. I should be into Andalusia later today, I think. So I've personally found that the Sawyer Squeeze, the big one, lasts longer than the Katadyn Be Free and the other lightweight options. But after a while, this is what happens. You can see I'm just getting kind of a trickle out of here despite back flushing it and doing everything I can. So it'll be about time to swap this one out next time I have the option. The cell phone coverage seems to have taken a hard dive ever since I got close to the Alabama border. Every now and then I'll get up on a hill and I'll have 1, maybe 2 bars. But I can basically only get text messages out. Haven't had any luck getting web pages to load or much else. I'm on AT&T. Since I am getting closer to Andalusia, hoping it'll kick in here at some point. I have a whole nother episode ready to upload that I haven't been able to. And it looks like I'm about to have my second dog encounter of Alabama. Well, so far so good. 1 mellow loose dog and then a bunch that were behind the fence. But I've got my spray out handy just in case. Can never be too careful out in these rural areas. So I could have seen if these nice people would let me camp on their property, but that was a park back there where I stayed. It was actually legal to camp as long as it wasn't deer season. It may have been a hurricane damage closure, but there was no damage, and sometimes the signs are just left up and they look like they've been there for a while. So I was so focused on the 6 dogs snarling at me behind a fence over on my left, I didn't notice the other one sneaking up till it was really close. That woke me up. Okay, I'm about 5 miles out from Andalusia. There's been a bit of a scramble to figure out what hotel I can stay at. There was a budget inn listed that was on the way out of town, seemed about perfect, but they really seemed to not want to take my money for an actual stay. Not answering the phone, being really rude, etc. So I'm going to be at the Days Inn, grab another day or 2 of food, maybe get some Mexican food, which will be nice, and get a shower tonight. Probably just have to do laundry in the sink, but good enough. What could possibly be more important than resupply or a shower? Mexican food. I really hope they're open. Okay, so this is going to be home sweet home for the night. I'm fed. Unfortunately, they don't have any laundry, so it looks like I'm doing hiker laundry in a sink. But, that works out. And then in the morning, I'll keep pushing north towards Montgomery.